Hey everyone, Eric Scholl here with Perennial HD, and welcome to Round It Out. Today's episode is about creating winning teams. Zach is addressing a group of entrepreneurs and HR professionals at Milwaukee Startup Week 2019. Creating winning teams is about using cultural strategy to attract and retain top talent. So with that context, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and let's jump right in.
For today's session around creating winning teams, we're kind of breaking this out into three different sections. And we want to kind of present this in a way where maybe it gives you guys a different framework on how you approach this from more of the candidate side and the candidate experience, and how you can actually take a different approach to recruit top talent and some strategies around that. So we're going to kind of start off with some of the foundational work with doing it and setting the stage to help you be successful in bringing in the right talent. And then we're going to kind of transfer over to more of job descriptions, interview techniques, what it's like to work with a recruiter, and then even insert some other stories on how you can be creative with that using technology and other approaches to make it more engaging throughout that process. So before I kind of jump into this, I kind of want to do a quick survey of the room. I guess who here is representing their own business today? Okay. And what about people in HR or just in this world? Awesome. And what about just we're actually scaling up our teams? We're actually building, we're trying to hire people. Okay, cool. Well, even if you're not at that stage too, as you kind of get to different stages in your own organization, these might be some good frameworks to kind of apply in the future. So, one thing you'll notice too is there's really no silver bullet to recruiting because we're dealing with people here, right? And these people are all very diverse and different. So some of the things that we talk about will hopefully allow you guys to be take a little bit more tailored and personal approach as well, and be creative with the different types of people that you have to interact with. So for starters, before you can really figure out what type of people and talent you want to approach, you kind of have to build a foundation with your organization. That starts with understanding the culture and the type of people that you already have, right? If you don't understand the core values and the mission and the vision for the future of your company, you're not going to be able to communicate that to the talent that you're bringing on board, right? This is a great selling approach. If you have a fulfilling culture and a way to promote your people to the people that you're trying to bring on, it can be a no-brainer for a lot of people to make that move. So that's really the first step, is setting an intentional culture that you can promote and sell to the future talent. Especially if a person that you're trying to engage and pull over to your organization, and they're working at a company that has a good culture, and you do not, they're probably not going to make the move to work with your company. I actually had the privilege of working for a company that is very intentional about their culture. A company called Zywave. We have a few Zywaves, Jackson and George and I were all there for some time. And I had the pleasure of actually managing the team and going through the interviewing process and deciding who we're going to bring in. And it's kind of interesting when you start asking people why they're interested in working here, and they're like, "Oh, I just heard I had a cool culture and it'd be fun to work there." It's like, "Do you know what we do?" And they're like, "No, I don't know what you guys do," right? And it's kind of interesting where if you have a strong culture, it can be an extremely strong tool, because people will just apply for your company regardless of what you do, and it's you'll just continuously have people wanting to work there. So that's kind of the first step, where you can actually build something that constantly is bringing in a talent pipeline indirectly. The next aspect that I want to talk about is really the employee experience and breaking that down with you guys. So now that we kind of have a foundation of where we're going, the mission and the values and how we make our decisions as a company, and we understand the current people that we have internally, another really strong tool to kind of sell your company to the talent is by breaking down the employee experience with those people. And really the employee experience is kind of what I'm going to deal with and experience on a day-to-day basis when working with your organization, right? So I'm going to go through kind of three main pillars and how those can really affect your experience internally when the company or employees are working with you, but then as another way of how you can sell to the talent of how, when working with us, this is the experience that you're going to have. Starting with the physical build. So this is all about kind of like the actual space, like the building, and the physical things I'm going to be interacting with on a daily basis, the equipment and the tools that you provide me to do my job. A lot of communities will often recognize organizations with the top spaces and workplaces to work in. Now, I understand that we can't just go out there and invest a ton of money into building a top workplace environment, but it's really powerful to be able to communicate to people that you're giving them the resources to either collaborate and work with different team members or concentrate and dive into the current role. What is that experience like? If you don't have that office space, promote to them how, we'll give you the tools to work remotely and in different spaces and interact in that way. A lot of people don't really talk about their office space unless they have a really good office space, right? So if you can spin it in different ways and show that either way, we may not have that today, and maybe in the direction, the vision of the company, we're working there to build that, you can still kind of show a vision with that. Next aspect is the social and community build. This is all about relationships. How are you showcasing that they'll have a sense of togetherness with the company that they're evaluating? Relationships are extremely important. How many times have you guys left a job because you didn't like the people you worked with? Or you constantly leave work and you're like, oh man, my manager sucks, I'm out of there, So relationships are really important. It will either make or break an experience with that company. So a lot of companies will use this as a way to promote what it's like working at their company by showcasing, photos and events that they do as a team, different experiences that they do outside of the work to show that, we're trying to create a sense of family here, and we want to make sure the people we're bringing in will fit into that family too. People want to be part of something connected. The last pillar to the employee experience that we take a look at then is really the operation. This is the work itself. And a lot of times this is going to be one of the most important pillars to the employee experience, right? People want to know that they have a sense of purpose to the organization and that what they're concentrating on, the work that they're doing on a daily basis, fits into something in the greater scheme and mission of the company. If they don't understand that, they're probably going to look for something where they do have a sense of purpose and they do have a fit into that grand scheme of things. So as you're kind of bringing your candidate in and you're talking about how they're going to make an impact at the company, this is a great opportunity to show that they're going to be valued when working with your organization. Now, some of these kind of fit in differently, and some organizations are going to be stronger in different areas. And I think the ultimate balance is in the middle when you can capitalize on all three. I actually had a funny experience back many years ago when I went and applied for this marketing position with this smaller organization, right? They were around for maybe 10 years or so. The interview process, and I just wanted to walk through this experience and why, if you're able to promote this to your candidate, it can be really impactful to the actual, when they're an employee with you. Because if these things aren't hit on, it could be, low amounts of engagement and excitement before they even work with you, and when they come on board, it's kind of like, okay, what am I doing here? I just took a job, I need a paycheck. So I had 2 interviews with this company. One was over the phone, one was over Skype, and it was with the business owner. I was looking for marketing experience at the time and a paycheck, and I didn't really know what the company did, so I took the job, right? So throughout that experience, I had no idea even where the building was located, right? I was taking this job, and the Sunday night before I worked, I had to Google where this place was. I had no idea what it would be like. I also didn't even know what type of people are there. It's a marketing position. I'm gonna have to collaborate with people, right? To understand the product that's being developed and the customer base that we're marketing to. That's pretty important for marketing. I didn't even know who those people were. And my task, I was like, what part of marketing am I doing? Is it just all marketing or social media marketing? Like, what are we doing here? So I came in day one just kind of like, okay, what's going on? I'm going to get paid hopefully with this. Needless to say, it was a very disengaging experience. You know, and even that first experience, the owner came up to me and was like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm really busy. I don't have time to connect. Here's your desk, and why don't you start working on a marketing plan? And I was like, we'll meet after lunch and we'll talk about it. I'm like, okay, sweet. I'll put together a marketing plan for a customer base I do not know and a product that I also do not know. It's going to be awesome, you know? So, and that whole time I wasn't introduced to anyone. I kind of looked around. I saw people kind of like with their heads down, drinking coffee. It's Monday morning, so it kind of sucks already. But that was the experience, you know? So if you're looking to grow your team and create an atmosphere that's fulfilling and engaging, take a look at these 3 different pillars and evaluate how your organization is doing that today. The next aspect I want to kind of go through here quickly is matching those things with the actual strategic direction of the company. So this is all about, whoa. My bad. Spoiler. Matching those things with the actual strategic direction. So with the employee experience, the culture, and understanding of people, that's really the foundation to everything. What's important is also selling to the candidate the type of future that they're going to have with your company, right? Because people are looking for career growth. They want to know that what I'm going into today isn't going to be the end-all, right? I want to be able to see something that I'm going to grow into, or else I'm looking at this company as a temporary place. I'm going to start here, get experience in this, and then look somewhere else for my next position, right? So if you can understand your strategic plan, and I'm talking like 12, 16, 18, 24, many years down the road, you're also going to get a better understanding of the type of key challenges that you're going to face in the future. Right? Here we are today. We're going to go here, so we're going to have to learn these things. So we're going to need people that have these key skill sets. Understanding that then can add color to your actual career path of the person you're attracting. Right? You're going to them and you're saying, look, we're hiring you for Y. This is your purpose. This is what we need you for. We're going to X. So throughout that time, we're going to start developing you in these spaces. You know, today doing this, but we're also going to invest in you in the future. Skill development, career path. It's very important to a lot of candidates these days because you see how much they switch jobs. It's mainly because like they need to pivot and they don't feel like this is fulfilling or has any purpose in their future. It goes into also understanding the skill sets that actually matter then when you're hiring this candidate. If you're looking for kind of profitable growth, both long-term for the business and the individual, you should be targeting skills that are more transferable in the long term. This is actually a study that was done throughout the last couple of years, and there's a lot of trends kind of going in a direction where executives are hiring for more like soft skills type attributes. And now these soft skills are actually becoming more like a power skill, where if you have these things, the other skill sets can actually be taught when you're brought into the company, right? So it's actually cheaper to hire companies with soft skills and transferable skills and then build them and develop them when they're in your company, rather than you going for this like unicorn of a candidate that has all these amazing attributes and skill sets and proven track record, and you're looking for this like perfect person when you may be passing up on a lot of candidates that have these skill sets that actually correlate with longer term career success. And that's where you can actually pitch, again, the career path that's profitable growth for both the organization and the individual. So now that we kind of have a little bit of a foundation here, you understand the employee experience that you're going to provide, right, in the direction as a company you're going to go. This is a pretty good pitch to a candidate, right? Like, now you're more powerful. Right now we're kind of in a place where talent is kind of in the driver's seat a little bit, where this kind of puts your organization back into the driver's seat, where people are choosing you.
So thank you for checking out Round It Out. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you want more culture tips and strategy, check us out on Instagram at PerennialHD or find us online at perennialhd.com. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a great day.